In today's tutorial, we will cover 50 exam practice questions from the Development Approach and Lifecycle domain. After I read out the question to you, I'll pause for a few seconds, then I'll share the correct answer and explanation with you. Feel free to put your answers in the comments. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Let's begin. Question 1. You are managing a large infrastructure project with a strict regulatory environment. Given the need for stringent compliance and stable requirements, which development approach would be most appropriate? A. Agile, B. Waterfall, C. Spiral, D. Scrum. Correct answer, B. Explanation. The waterfall approach option B is most suitable for projects with strict regulatory requirements and stable, well-defined requirements. This sequential development approach ensures that each phase, such as requirements definition, design, implementation, and verification, is completed before the next begins, allowing for thorough documentation and compliance checks at each stage. Question 2. A software development project is being managed under the Scrum framework. Midway through, stakeholders introduce several new requirements. How should the project manager integrate these changes? A. Redefine the project scope to include the new requirements immediately. B. Wait until the current sprint is completed before assessing the new requirements. C. Add the new requirements to the product backlog to be prioritized for future sprints. D. Reject any new requirements as the sprints are already defined. Correct answer, C. Explanation. Adding the new requirements to the product backlog option C is the most appropriate action in Scrum. This allows the changes to be prioritized and planned into future sprints systematically, ensuring they are handled efficiently without disrupting the current sprint's goals. Question 3. You're leading a project with a high degree of innovation and uncertainty in outcomes. Which project lifecycle would best support your needs for flexibility and frequent adjustments? A. Predictive, B. Adaptive, C. Incremental, D. Waterfall. Correct answer, B. Explanation. An adaptive lifecycle option B is ideal for projects where high innovation and uncertainty are involved. This approach, which includes methodologies like Agile, supports frequent evaluation and adjustments, making it possible to respond to changes in project scope, requirements, and market conditions effectively. Question 4. A project manager decides to use a hybrid development approach for a new consumer electronics product. What could be a plausible reason for this decision? A. To satisfy the fixed scope requirements while allowing flexibility in design features. B. To completely avoid any changes in project requirements. C. To reduce the documentation and reporting requirements. D. To implement the project without stakeholder input. Correct answer, A. Explanation. Choosing a hybrid development approach option enables the project to benefit from both predictive and adaptive lifecycle elements. This could mean using a predictive approach for certain fixed scope requirements while allowing flexibility in exploratory, innovative aspects of the product design through adaptive methodologies. Question 5. During a project, you realize that the chosen predictive lifecycle is not accommodating changes effectively as the market conditions are evolving rapidly. What is the best course of action? A. Switch to an adaptive lifecycle methodology like Agile. B. Continue with the predictive lifecycle to maintain consistency. C. Stop the project and restart with a new lifecycle. D. Ignore market changes and continue as planned. Correct answer, A. Explanation: switching to an adaptive lifecycle methodology like Agile option would be the best course of action as it allows the project to be more responsive to changes in market conditions. This approach supports frequent reassessment of project priorities and more fluid planning, which is vital in a rapidly changing environment. Question 6. A project manager is handling a complex software development project where the technology is new and the solution is not clearly defined. Which lifecycle approach would allow for learning and adaptation during the project? A waterfall, B model, C iterative, D Prince 2. Correct answer C. Explanation: an iterative lifecycle approach option C is most suitable for projects where the technology is new and the final solution is not well defined. This approach breaks down the project into smaller parts, allowing for iterative reviews and refinements after each phase, which facilitates learning and adaptation as the project progresses. Question 7. Your project is using a Scrum framework and the team has completed several sprints, but the stakeholder satisfaction is low due to unclear project deliverables. What should be your next step to align the deliverables with stakeholder expectations? A. Organize a sprint review meeting with stakeholders to gather feedback and adjust the product backlog accordingly. B. Continue with the planned sprints, hoping the situation will improve. C. Switch to a predictive approach to set clear deliverables. D. Dismiss stakeholder feedback to maintain the development schedule. Correct answer A. Explanation: organizing a sprint review meeting with stakeholders to gather feedback and adjust the product backlog accordingly. Option A is the most effective way to align the project with stakeholder expectations in a Scrum environment. This ensures that feedback is integrated into the project iteratively, improving satisfaction and deliverable relevance. Question 8. For a project involving both software development and hardware manufacturing, the project manager opts for a hybrid development approach. What are the likely phases or components to be managed under a predictive model? A software testing and feedback loops. B. Initial hardware design specifications and compliance checks. C. Iterative design improvements based on user feedback. D. Agile sprint planning and daily stand-ups. Correct answer B. Explanation: initial hardware design specifications and compliance checks option B are typically managed under a predictive model within a hybrid development approach. This component requires stability and precision, making it well suited to a sequential and phase-based lifecycle like the waterfall model, where compliance and specifications need to be clearly defined upfront. Question 9. A project manager overseeing the launch of a new online platform decides to use an agile development approach. Midway through the project, it is evident that the team is struggling with this approach due to a lack of experience with agile methodologies. What corrective action should the project manager take? A. Revert to a waterfall model as it requires less training. B. Arrange for immediate agile training and coaching for the team. C. Accelerate the development phases to catch up on lost time. D. Reduce the scope of the project to make it manageable. Correct answer B. Explanation: arranging for immediate agile training and coaching for the team. Option B addresses the root cause of the struggle. Providing the necessary training and support helps the team become proficient in agile practices, thereby enhancing their performance and the project's success. Question 10. In a rapidly evolving industry, a project manager opts for an adaptive project lifecycle. However, the project scope is extensive and complex. How should the project manager ensure that the project remains manageable and on track? A. Break the project down into smaller, manageable increments that can be completed in short iterations. B. B. Use a predictive approach to plan the entire project in detail from the start. C. Assign more resources to work simultaneously on all tasks. D. Limit stakeholder engagement to reduce complexity. Correct answer A. Explanation: breaking the project down into smaller, manageable increments that can be completed in short iterations. Option A leverages the benefits of an adaptive lifecycle. This approach allows for flexibility and responsiveness to change while keeping the project manageable and focused on delivering value incrementally. Question 11. Your project is implementing a new financial system for a client who has a fluctuating scope due to changing regulatory requirements. Which approach would best accommodate these changes while maintaining control over the project's progress? A purely agile approach with continuous iterations and frequent stakeholder reviews. B. A purely waterfall approach, adjusting the project plan only at major milestones. C. A hybrid approach, using waterfall for baseline compliance features and agile for areas with changing regulations. D. An incremental build model, focusing solely on adding features in the order of their importance. Correct answer C. Explanation: a hybrid approach. Option C, using waterfall for baseline compliance features and agile for areas with changing regulations, provides the structured control needed for compliance while allowing flexibility to adapt to evolving regulatory requirements. This method effectively manages the dual demands of stability and adaptability. Question 12. In a project using the Scrum framework, the product owner is not satisfied with the progress after several sprints because the delivered increments do not meet their expectations. What steps should the Scrum Master take to align the delivered work with the product owner's expectations? A suggests the product owner adjusts their expectations to match the development team's output. B. Organize a product backlog refinement session to ensure clarity and alignment on priorities and requirements. C. Switch to a waterfall model to provide a more predictable output. D. Reduce the sprint duration to increase frequency of deliveries for faster feedback. Correct answer B. Explanation: organizing a product backlog refinement session. Option B ensures that the development team fully understands the product owner's expectations and priorities. This session can help clarify requirements and realign the team's efforts with the product owner's vision, thus improving the relevance and quality of sprint outputs. Question 13. You are managing a project that develops a custom software solution for a large retailer. Halfway through the project, a new competitor emerges, changing the competitive landscape. How should you adjust the project lifecycle to respond effectively to this new market situation? A continue with the planned lifecycle without changes to maintain project stability. B. Transition to a more adaptive and iterative approach to incorporate potential strategic shifts and enhancements more rapidly. C. Conduct a risk assessment session and proceed without lifecycle adjustments. D. Complete the project as quickly as possible using the crash technique to beat the competitor to market. Correct answer B. Explanation: transitioning to a more adaptive and iterative approach. Option B allows the project to incorporate changes due to the new market conditions more fluidly. This enables the project to remain competitive and relevant by adapting to emerging needs and potentially integrating new features that respond to the competitor's presence. Question 14. A project to develop a new biomedical device is utilizing a V model due to the critical nature of product testing and validation. Mid-project, a significant design flaw is discovered during validation testing. What is the best response to manage this finding? A redesign the affected component immediately without revisiting earlier phases. B. Review and revise from the system design phase in the V model to ensure thorough correction and revalidation. C. Ignore the flaw and continue testing other components to stay on schedule. D. Switch to an agile model to expedite the redesign process. Correct answer B. Explanation: reviewing and revising from the system design phase in the V model option B ensures that the flaw is addressed thoroughly with adjustments made in both the design and subsequent phases. This is crucial in a V model where each phase is closely linked to its corresponding testing phase, ensuring the integrity and safety of the biomedical device. Question 15. For a software project, your team is using an iterative development approach. As the project progresses, you notice that the iterations are becoming longer and less productive. What strategy should you adopt to regain control and enhance productivity? I implement stricter deadlines to force the team to complete iterations faster. B. Introduce a Kanban system to manage workflow and limit work in progress. C. Revert to a waterfall approach to improve discipline and structure. D. Increase the number of team members to speed up the iterations. Correct answer B. Explanation: introducing a Kanban system option B to manage workflow and limit work in progress can effectively address issues of productivity and iteration length. This method helps visualize work, limit work in progress, and manage flow, which can lead to more focused and efficient iteration cycles. Question 16. A project manager is overseeing the development of a cloud-based platform where client data security is paramount. Midway through the project, new data protection laws are introduced. Which development lifecycle should be adapted to ensure compliance without disrupting ongoing operations? Continue with the current lifecycle but implement a change control board to handle legal compliance. B. Switch to a spiral lifecycle model that allows for risk assessment and iterative refinement to address these new requirements. C. Adopt a purely predictive approach to fully redesign the project around the new laws. D. Use a phase gate process to periodically assess compliance at the end of each phase. Correct answer B. Explanation: switching to a spiral lifecycle model option B allows for continuous risk assessment and iterative refinement, which is ideal for integrating new data protection laws into the development process. This model facilitates the inclusion of new requirements while minimizing disruption to the ongoing development. Question 17. You are managing a multi-year development project for an advanced aerospace system. Given the long-term and high-stakes nature of the project, which approach would you use to ensure both flexibility in design and rigorous testing and validation of each component? Agile for rapid prototyping and testing. B. Waterfall for sequential and thorough development phases. C. Hybrid using Agile for initial design and development, followed by a waterfall approach for detailed testing and validation. D. Incremental build model with continuous integration and testing. Correct answer C. Explanation: a hybrid approach using Agile for initial design and development, followed by a waterfall approach for detailed testing and validation. Option C provides the necessary flexibility during early design stages and ensures rigorous testing and compliance in later stages. This approach balances innovation with the need for thorough validation in aerospace projects. Question 18. Your project involves developing an interactive mobile application with potential frequent updates based on user feedback. What lifecycle approach would facilitate quick releases and the ability to adapt to user demands? A strictly predictive lifecycle focusing on thorough upfront planning. B. A purely incremental approach with minimal planning. C. An adaptive lifecycle using agile methodologies to allow for rapid iteration and responsiveness. D. A waterfall model with distinct and rigid phases for stability. Correct answer C. Explanation: an adaptive lifecycle using agile methodologies option C is most suitable for projects that require quick releases and responsiveness to user feedback. Agile allows for rapid iterations and frequent reassessment of project priorities based on actual user feedback, making it ideal for the dynamic nature of mobile app development. Question 19. In managing the development of a new online banking system, you need to ensure that the project meets stringent security standards while remaining adaptable to changing financial regulations. Which lifecycle management approach would you recommend? A purely adaptive approach to continuously integrate changes. B. A waterfall approach for its strong emphasis on documentation and phase completions. C. A hybrid lifecycle that combines the structure of waterfall for compliance and security aspects with the flexibility of Agile for adapting to regulation changes. D. An incremental approach where each module is developed and tested independently. Correct answer C. Explanation: a hybrid life cycle that combines the structure of waterfall for compliance and security aspects with the flexibility of Agile for adapting to regulation changes. Option C offers the optimal balance. This approach ensures rigorous security testing and compliance documentation while also providing the agility needed to adapt to new regulations efficiently. Question 20. You are tasked with leading a project to develop a high fidelity simulation for emergency response training. Given the complexity and the need for iterative feedback and updates, which development approach should you use to effectively manage project development? The spiral development model to evaluate risks and refine the project through iterative prototypes. B. A predictive lifecycle to ensure that all aspects of the simulation are planned and executed without deviation. C. A strictly incremental approach to build the simulation one module at a time. D. A Kanban approach to continuously deliver small pieces of functionality. Correct answer A. Explanation: a spiral development model option A is particularly suited for projects like high fidelity simulations where risk evaluation and iterative refinement are critical. This model allows for developing prototypes at each spiral, gathering feedback, and enhancing the project iteratively, which is crucial for creating an effective emergency response simulation. Question 21. A project manager is leading a software development project where the market and technology are both rapidly evolving. The project's success hinges on staying ahead of market trends. Which approach should the project manager use to ensure the project remains aligned with the latest market trends? A adaptive approach with a strong focus on continuous integration and deployment. B. Waterfall approach with occasional market review checkpoints. C. Sequential approach with a predefined path and no deviations based on market changes. D. Fixed iterative approach with limited feedback loops. Correct answer A. Explanation: an adaptive approach with a strong focus on continuous integration and deployment. Option A is ideal for projects in rapidly changing environments. This allows the project to adapt quickly to new information and changing market trends, ensuring that the product remains competitive and meets current market demands. Question 22. During a complex urban development project, you encounter unexpected archaeological findings that could potentially alter project plans. Which lifecycle approach would best allow for such unpredictable changes while ensuring the project remains on track? A flexible iterative approach that can incorporate discoveries into the planning as they arise. B. A strictly sequential approach to ensure all findings are documented and addressed before proceeding. C. A hybrid approach using Agile for immediate areas of impact and waterfall for unaffected areas. D. A continuous delivery model focusing solely on speed. Correct answer C. Explanation: a hybrid approach using Agile for immediate areas impacted by archaeological findings and waterfall for the unaffected areas of the project. Option C provides the necessary flexibility to handle unexpected changes effectively. This allows for immediate adaptation where needed while maintaining structure in areas not directly impacted. Question 23. You are managing a technology upgrade project for an airline's reservation system, which requires high reliability and minimal downtime. What development lifecycle would be most appropriate to ensure both incremental improvement and system stability? A pure agile approach for maximum flexibility. B. A pure waterfall approach for maximum predictability. C. An iterative approach with overlapping development and testing phases. D. A staged delivery approach, with each stage thoroughly tested before implementation. Correct answer D. Explanation: a staged delivery approach. Option D, with each stage thoroughly tested before implementation, ensures that the system remains stable and reliable throughout the upgrade. This method allows for incremental improvements while minimizing the risk of introducing faults into a critical system. Question 24. In a project to develop a new electronic health record system, the project manager needs to balance between regulatory compliance and the need for iterative feedback from healthcare professionals. Which lifecycle management strategy would best fit this scenario? Agile for development with a waterfall wrap to meet compliance at the end of each cycle. B. Waterfall throughout to ensure compliance with no iterative feedback. C. Pure Agile to maximize feedback irrespective of compliance requirements. D. Spiral model focusing exclusively on risk management. Correct answer A. Explanation: Agile for development with a waterfall wrap to meet compliance at the end of each cycle. Option A provides the flexibility needed to iteratively improve the system based on user feedback, while also ensuring that each release meets regulatory compliance through structured documentation and reviews. Question 25. For a global project deploying an infrastructure across multiple continents with varying regulatory environments, what approach should the project manager adopt to handle the complexity and variability in compliance requirements? At the single-threaded waterfall approach to simplify management. B. An agile approach to flexibly adapt to regional differences. C. A hybrid approach using Agile for development and predictive for compliance in each region. D. A phased approach, implementing infrastructure region by region. Correct answer C. Explanation: a hybrid approach using Agile for development and predictive for compliance in each region. Option C effectively manages the dual needs of adaptability in development and rigorous compliance checks for each specific regulatory environment, thus ensuring both efficient deployment and adherence to local regulations. Question 26. Your company is developing a new augmented reality app with the need to prototype various user experiences rapidly. Which project lifecycle would facilitate the most effective exploration and refinement of these user experiences? A waterfall model to ensure thorough documentation and planning. B. Agile model to rapidly prototype and iterate based on user feedback. C. Incremental build model to slowly build up the final product. D. Predictive lifecycle to fully plan the user experience before development begins. Correct answer B. Explanation: an agile model option B is most suited for projects that require rapid prototyping and iterative testing, particularly with user-centric products like augmented reality apps. This allows the project to quickly adapt prototypes based on real user feedback and refine the user experience continuously. Question 27. A project to develop a new line of electric vehicles EVs requires integration of complex, innovative technologies. How should the project lifecycle be structured to manage the high levels of technological risk and innovation? A use a sequential approach to minimize changes once a phase is completed. B. Adopt a spiral model to continually evaluate risks and develop prototypes. C. Implement a strict waterfall model to ensure each phase is perfectly executed before moving on. D. Rely on an incremental model with fixed scopes for each increment. Correct answer B. Explanation: adopting a spiral model option B is ideal for projects involving high levels of innovation and technological risk. This model facilitates continual risk assessment and allows for multiple rounds of refinement through prototyping, which is crucial for integrating complex new technologies in EV development. Question 28. Managing a large-scale software implementation project across an international corporation, you need to ensure that local adaptations do not stray from the global project objectives. Which approach would you use to manage local adaptations while maintaining overall project coherence? The centralized predictive approach to strictly control all local changes. B. A decentralized agile approach to allow for local flexibility. C. A hybrid approach with centralized governance and localized agile teams. D. A purely incremental approach without any centralized control. Correct answer C. Explanation: a hybrid approach with centralized governance and localized agile teams. Option C provides the optimal balance between maintaining global project objectives and allowing for necessary local adaptations. This ensures that local teams can adapt the software to meet regional needs while adhering to a coherent global strategy. Question 29. You are tasked with developing a new cybersecurity software product. Given the complexity of the security landscape and the need for continuous updates, which lifecycle approach should you choose to optimize both development speed and product security? A waterfall approach to ensure a thoroughly planned and secure product. B. An agile approach to facilitate rapid development and iterative security updates. C. A V model to strictly test and verify each phase of development. D. A hybrid model combining agile for rapid development and waterfall for security audits. Correct answer D. Explanation: a hybrid model combining Agile for rapid development and Waterfall for security audits. Option D ensures that development can proceed quickly and adaptively while also incorporating rigorous security checks and compliance audits at critical stages, crucial for cybersecurity products. Question 30. The project manager of a multinational e-commerce platform upgrade must handle diverse customer needs and ensure a uniform user experience. Which development approach is most suitable to manage such diversity while ensuring consistency across the platform? A pure agile throughout the project for maximum flexibility. B. Waterfall throughout to maintain a consistent upgrade process. C. A hybrid approach using Agile for customer specific features and Waterfall for core platform upgrades. D. An iterative approach with no specific focus on either flexibility or consistency. Correct answer C. Explanation: a hybrid approach using Agile for customer specific features and Waterfall for core platform upgrades. Option C allows for the flexibility needed to cater to diverse customer needs through customizable features while ensuring that the overall platform remains consistent and stable through a structured waterfall approach. Question 31. You are managing a software project for a financial institution where there are both critical real-time processing and regular reporting requirements. How should you structure the development approach to cater to both needs effectively? Utilize a hybrid approach, Agile for real-time processing development to allow rapid iteration, and Waterfall for the reporting component to ensure accuracy and compliance. B. Employ a purely Agile approach to cover all aspects of the project for consistency. C. Adopt a purely waterfall model to ensure that both components meet strict compliance standards uniformly. D. Implement an incremental build model, treating each component as a separate deliverable. Correct answer A. Explanation: a hybrid approach. Option A is ideal in this scenario. Using Agile for the development of real-time processing allows for flexibility and quick adaptation to changing requirements, while employing Waterfall for the reporting aspects ensures thorough documentation and compliance, which are critical in financial environments. Question 32. A project involves developing an AI-driven tool to predict stock market trends, which requires both innovative AI model development and strict data security measures. Which lifecycle approach would best manage these dual requirements? A spiral model to incrementally enhance AI capabilities while continuously assessing risks, especially for data security. B. Agile approach throughout to maximize innovation speed without specific emphasis on security. C. Waterfall approach to ensure that all security measures are planned and implemented from the outset. DV model, focusing on strong validation and verification processes for both AI development and security measures. Correct answer A. Explanation: the spiral model option is particularly suited for projects that need to balance rapid innovation with significant risk management, such as AI development and data security. This model allows for frequent reassessments and risk evaluations at each cycle, ensuring both progressive enhancement and security compliance. Question 33. The project manager of a cross-platform mobile application needs to ensure the app works seamlessly across different operating systems and device formats. What development approach would best ensure comprehensive coverage of various platforms while maintaining development efficiency? A platform agnostic agile development approach to quickly adapt to different OS requirements. B. A waterfall approach, developing for each platform sequentially to ensure thorough focus and compatibility. C. A hybrid approach, using Agile for initial development and a staged delivery model for final testing across platforms. D. An iterative approach with continuous testing and integration on all platforms simultaneously. Correct answer C. Explanation: a hybrid approach. Option C, using Agile for rapid development of features, followed by a staged delivery model for thorough cross-platform testing, effectively balances development efficiency with the need for extensive testing across multiple operating systems and devices. Question 34. In a rapidly changing consumer electronics market, a project manager is tasked with developing a new smartwatch. The project needs to incorporate user feedback and adapt to emerging technologies swiftly. Which lifecycle management strategy would be most effective? And the predictive lifecycle with clearly defined stages and milestones. B, an adaptive life cycle with the flexibility to pivot as new technologies and user feedback are integrated. C, a sequential development approach to simplify the management of complex technology integrations. D, a fixed iterative model with little scope for deviation once an iteration starts. Correct answer B. Explanation: an adaptive lifecycle option B is most suitable for projects that require a high degree of flexibility to incorporate ongoing changes such as user feedback and new technologies. This approach allows the project to remain relevant and competitive in a fast-paced market. Question 35. You are leading the development of a large-scale public transportation system which requires integrating multiple subsystems developed by different contractors. What project lifecycle approach should be adopted to manage integration effectively while ensuring each subsystem meets specific standards? It's a purely agile approach to allow flexibility in subsystem integration. B, a waterfall approach for each subsystem, followed by an integration phase using Agile. C, a phased approach, ensuring each subsystem is fully developed and tested before integration. D, a concurrent engineering approach, where subsystems are developed in parallel and integrated iteratively. Correct answer D. Explanation: a concurrent engineering approach option D, where subsystems are developed in parallel and integrated iteratively, is effective for managing complex projects that involve integrating multiple subsystems. This approach allows for continuous adjustments and refinements, ensuring that integration issues are addressed promptly and subsystems are harmonized effectively. Question 36. For a software project that involves both a large user base and high security needs, such as an online banking application, which lifecycle would be optimal to balance rapid feature rollout with stringent security testing? An agile model for all aspects to ensure quick delivery. B, a waterfall model for security features and agile for user-facing features. C, a hybrid model using waterfall for the security framework and agile for iterative feature releases. D, a purely incremental build model focusing on adding features based on user demand. Correct answer C. Explanation: a hybrid model option C, using waterfall for developing a robust security framework and agile for iterative feature releases, effectively balances the need for rapid user feature rollout with the non-negotiable requirement of stringent security testing. Question 37. A project manager is overseeing the development of a new healthcare management system that needs to comply with various international health regulations and adapt to different country-specific requirements. Which approach would best handle this complex scenario? A waterfall for core system development and agile for country-specific adaptations. Be purely agile to stay adaptable across all phases of development. C, spiral model to continuously enhance and adapt the system through iterative risk analysis and prototyping. DV model to ensure rigorous validation and verification across all system requirements. Correct answer A. Explanation: waterfall for core system development and agile for country-specific adaptations option offers a structured approach for building a compliant core system while maintaining the flexibility to adapt to various international requirements through agile methodologies. Question 38. In a project developing a new line of autonomous vehicles, which approach would effectively manage the inherent risks and need for innovative technology development? A purely predictive model to ensure all risks are assessed upfront. Be agile for technology development and waterfall for regulatory compliance. C. Spiral model to continually evaluate and mitigate risks throughout the life cycle. D. Incremental model focusing solely on technological advances in stages. Correct answer C. Explanation: the spiral model option C is particularly effective for projects like autonomous vehicles where ongoing risk evaluation and mitigation are crucial. This model facilitates iterative development with continuous risk assessments, allowing for innovative solutions while managing potential impacts and ensuring safety. Question 39. A software development team is working on a new CRM system that requires quick updates based on user feedback, but also integration with existing stable enterprise systems. Which development lifecycle approach would best manage these dual needs? A. Agile throughout to maximize responsiveness to user feedback. B. Waterfall throughout to ensure stability and integration. C. A hybrid approach with Agile for CRM development and a predictive model for integration. D. A sequential approach with phased rollouts. Correct answer C. Explanation: a hybrid approach option C with agile methodologies employed for the rapid development of the CRM system and a predictive model used for its integration into stable enterprise systems ensures that the project remains responsive to user needs while maintaining system integrity and stability. Question 40. Managing the upgrade of an old national library system, the project manager faces challenges related to preserving historical data integrity and incorporating new digital technologies. Which lifecycle approach should be used to address these complex requirements? A waterfall to systematically address each phase of the upgrade. Be agile to allow flexibility in integrating new technologies. C. A hybrid model using waterfall for data preservation and agile for digital enhancements. D. A phased approach, treating data preservation and technology integration as separate projects. Correct answer C. Explanation: a hybrid model option C using waterfall for the careful and systematic preservation of historical data and agile for the incorporation of new digital technologies provides a balanced approach. This allows for rigorous control where needed and flexibility where possible, effectively managing the diverse needs of the project. Question 41. You are overseeing a project to develop an online learning platform that must be scalable to accommodate an unpredictable number of global users. Given the need for scalability and robust performance, which development lifecycle would you recommend? A. Agile to allow for continuous adaptation and improvement based on user feedback and scalability needs. B. Waterfall to ensure a thoroughly planned and tested system before launch. C. Spiral, focusing on iterative risk management with each increase in user base. D. Hybrid, using waterfall for initial core development and agile for ongoing enhancements and scaling. Correct answer D. Explanation: a hybrid approach option D would be most effective, utilizing waterfall for the initial development of the core system to ensure stability and thorough testing, followed by agile methodologies for ongoing enhancements and scalability. This allows for foundational robustness while maintaining flexibility for growth and user-driven changes. Question 42. A project manager is tasked with leading a software project where both security and rapid feature deployment are critical. The client demands quick market entry, but also has stringent security requirements due to the sensitive nature of the data involved. What is the optimal lifecycle approach for this scenario? A pure agile to prioritize rapid development and release cycles. Be pure waterfall to ensure comprehensive security measures are planned and implemented. C. Spiral, the balance between rapid prototyping and detailed risk assessments. D. Hybrid, combining agile practices for feature development with a waterfall approach for security implementations. Correct answer D. Explanation: the hybrid approach option D effectively balances the need for rapid market entry with rigorous security requirements. Agile practices facilitate quick feature development and iteration, while the waterfall component ensures that all security protocols are meticulously planned and adhered to before each release. Question 43. During the development of a new automotive safety feature, it becomes evident that the project needs to adapt to newly introduced safety regulations that vary by region. How should the project manager adjust the development lifecycle to manage these changes effectively? Continue with a strict waterfall approach to avoid scope creep. B. Switch to a fully agile approach to flexibly integrate changing regulations. C. Adopt a hybrid approach, using agile for regions with fluctuating regulations and waterfall for regions with stable regulations. D. Utilize a phased approach, sequentially adapting to each region's regulations before moving on. Correct answer C. Explanation: adopting a hybrid approach option C allows for flexibility in areas where regulations are changing, utilizing agile methodologies to quickly adapt and iterate as needed, while employing waterfall methodologies in regions with stable regulations to ensure compliance and thorough documentation. Question 44. You're overseeing the deployment of a critical infrastructure project in a region prone to natural disasters. The project must accommodate unforeseen environmental challenges while maintaining strict adherence to safety standards. Halfway through the project, an unexpected regulatory change occurs that could affect project specifications. How should the project lifecycle be adjusted to manage these new requirements effectively, ensuring both compliance and resilience? A shift entirely to an agile approach to increase adaptability and responsiveness to ongoing changes. B. Incorporate a phase gate review process to reassess and align the project with new regulatory requirements at each critical milestone. C. Continue with the planned approach, integrating only minimal necessary changes to meet new standards. D. Enhance risk management protocols without altering the overall project lifecycle, focusing on specific areas affected by the regulatory change. Correct answer B. Explanation: incorporating a phase gate review process option B allows for systematic reassessment of the project at defined points, which is crucial in a scenario with environmental uncertainties and regulatory changes. This approach ensures that the project remains compliant with new regulations and maintains its integrity against natural disruptions by allowing for adjustments and alignments at each stage of the project lifecycle. Question 45. Which of the following are typical reasons to choose a hybrid development approach? Select 2. At the need to integrate new software with legacy systems. B. Requirement for a strictly sequential development process. C. Projects involving both stable product requirements and innovative new features. D. Preference for minimal stakeholder engagement during the project. Correct answers A, C. Explanation: integrating new software with legacy systems often requires a balance between agile methods for the new software and predictive approaches for stability with legacy systems. Projects that involve both stable and innovative elements benefit from a hybrid approach where the stable components can be developed predictively and the innovative components adaptively. Question 46. Scenario-based multiple choice. You are managing the development of a new banking application that requires integration with older banking systems. Midway through the project, significant updates to international banking regulations are announced. What project lifecycle adjustment should you make to ensure compliance while maintaining progress? A transition to a fully agile approach to rapidly incorporate regulatory changes. B. Implement a phase gate process to systematically evaluate and integrate these changes at specific milestones. C. Continue with the existing approach, making only minimal necessary adjustments. D. Introduce a rolling wave planning to adjust the project plans as more details about the regulations become known. Correct answer D. Explanation. Introducing rolling wave planning option D allows for flexibility in planning as more details about the regulations become known, ensuring the project can adapt its course of action while continuing to make progress. This method helps in managing uncertainty and integrating new information without overhauling the entire project plan. Question 47. Multiple correct response. Which of the following scenarios are best managed using a hybrid development approach? Select 2. At the startup, developing a new social media platform with both a need for rapid feature rollout and strong data privacy compliance. B. A construction project requiring strict adherence to safety and environmental regulations. C. An e-commerce company looking to update its website while maintaining 247 uptime. D. A software company developing a new game with frequent updates based on user feedback. Correct answers A, C. Explanation. A startup needs the agility to roll out features rapidly while also needing to ensure compliance with data privacy laws. A hybrid approach allows them to be flexible while also structured where necessary. An e-commerce company needs to maintain continuous service while updating features, requiring a balance between agile updates and stable operations. Question 48. You are managing a project to develop a state-of-the-art video streaming platform. Given the project requirements below, rank them in the order that an agile methodology would prioritize them from highest to lowest priority. Ensuring the platform can handle high traffic volumes without lag or downtime. Incorporating real-time user feedback to tweak user interface designs. Developing a basic working version of the platform to start gathering user feedback. Integrating advanced analytics features for tracking user engagement. Correct answer. 3, 2, 1, 4. Explanation. Agile methodology prioritizes getting a functional product into the hands of users as quickly as possible to start the iterative process of feedback and improvement. Thus, developing a basic working version 3 comes first, followed by incorporating real-time user feedback on that version 2. Ensuring the platform can handle high traffic volumes, one comes next to scale up the solution based on the initial feedback and usage, and finally, integrating advanced analytics features 4 follows, as these enhancements are typically added after confirming the product's core functionality and performance. Question 49. Fill in the blank. In the context of a project using a hybrid development approach, the phase responsible for detailed risk analysis and iterative validation before full-scale development is known as the blank phase. Correct answer, planning. Explanation. In a hybrid development approach that combines elements of both agile and waterfall methodologies, the planning phase often involves detailed risk analysis. This phase is crucial as it sets the foundation for iterative development and validation, particularly when integrating more flexible agile practices with structured waterfall processes. Question 50. For a project manager overseeing a cloud software upgrade with iterative releases, which approach should be employed to manage stakeholder expectations effectively across different business units? Schedule regular update meetings with stakeholders to review progress and gather feedback after each release. B. Compile and distribute a monthly newsletter detailing the project's status and upcoming features. C. Organize an annual review session where all stakeholders can see the year's progress. D. Provide access to a real-time dashboard where stakeholders can check progress at their convenience. Correct answer A. Explanation. Scheduling regular update meetings with stakeholders after each release option. A is the most effective approach for managing expectations in a project with iterative releases. This method ensures stakeholders are continuously informed and can provide timely feedback, which is crucial for adjusting project direction and enhancing stakeholder satisfaction in a dynamic project environment like a cloud software upgrade. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more helpful practice questions just like these.